What's up, Facebook fam? How you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. It's Coach Kelly here coming at ya. I am, if you didn't already know, out of town in the middle of a conference for work conference. So I just ran up to my room, took a little bit of a break, needed to get away, take a breather. So I wanted to use this time to go live with you guys because this week, Coach Mariah and I are going to be talking a lot about recovery, and even a little bit of self care sprinkled in there as well, because a lot of times our self care can be part of our recovery rituals. So that's our kind of topic and focus for this week. So I wanted to start that off by doing a really quick live training with you guys all about how I recover like a freaking boss. And that's going to include specific nutrition protocols as well as my favorite supplements to recover that not only I use, but I recommend all of my clients use as well. So let's get started here. For me, recovery consists of well, a lot of self care as well, just taking care of myself, making sure that I am a priority in my life. Like, I am a non negotiable. Like, if I'm unhealthy, if I'm not taken care of, if I'm not good, then I can't show up as best the best of my ability, as best as I possibly can, right? And recovery is necessary not only just from our workouts, right? Our really tough, high intensity, like heavy load workouts, but from life too, right? Sometimes life is tough on us, um, and we don't usually think about that. We think we've got to recover from our workouts, and that's about it. But we got to recover from life as well sometimes. So my first what am I trying to call it here? My first line of defense with my recovery is my sleep. And that's just like my lowest hanging fruit. That's the easiest thing that I can do is make sure that I'm getting 8 hours of sleep every single night. I'm getting to bed at a decent hour. Um, and it's just a non-negotiable for me. Like just the other night, Mike and I had some people over for a dinner party, my brother and his girlfriend. And I was like, hey, y'all, if you want to stay here and hang out and have fun and do your thing, like, please do. But I'm out. I'm going to bed. I'm getting my 8 hours of sleep because that's very important for me. It's important for my health, my recovery, my ability to show up here and be an amazing coach to my clients and to do my work and to do both of my jobs really, really well. Um, Sleep is a non-negotiable for me. I schedule different things around my sleep. I make sure that I shut down at work every single evening at a certain amount of time so that the rest of my evening plays out really, really well. I shut down at work. I eat my dinner. I go on my evening walk. I get ready for bed. Like I watch a little bit of TV. I kind of like reverse engineer my evenings, starting from the time I want to get to bed, making sure I get 8 hours, and then everything else that I need to get done kind of dictates when I have to shut down my work every single afternoon. So sleep is a non-negotiable for me 100%. Making sure that I kind of reverse engineer my evenings so they fit really, really well and I stick to that schedule, right? Um, Also just like my non-negotiables and actually following through and upholding those is part of my recovery, right? Not ignoring that stuff, not putting it on the back burner, not just saying, oh, I'll push through. Let me just get this one more thing done, or let me, make an appointment at this time. If a client can only hop on the phone with me late into the evenings, like that's not okay. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to sacrifice myself, right, for other people, trying to make other people happy, trying to please other people. I cannot sacrifice myself, my health, my recovery, my happiness and sanity, right, for the sake of other people. So putting myself first, that's part of recovery, right? So sleep is line of defense number one. Second is my nutrition, okay? Making sure that I'm eating enough food to not only fuel everything that I'm doing, but then recover from all of it as well. And again, not just from workouts, like from life, okay? So, what does that look like? It's going to be different for everyone as far as like specific macros, specific calories. I can't tell you that. That's something that you either have to work with your coach on to figure out, or you have to figure out and work through for yourself, okay? But it can be a little bit of a trial and error period or a guessing game, right? Nutrition is really just our best guesstimate to start out. And then we start making adjustments and we kind of sit back and see what happens, how our body responds, what the results are. And then we start making adjustments to just get a little bit closer and a little bit better, right? So making sure that you're fueling enough, okay? Spending more time than not at maintenance, okay? So making sure that you're consuming your total daily energy expenditure. If you don't know what that is, Google it. TDEE is also what I refer to as my maintenance level of calories, and that's basically just the amount of energy that your body is exerting, right? The amount of calories that you are burning every single day from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. So that's your body's processes, systems, everything running smoothly, but then also your daily activities, your workouts, just me sitting here talking to you guys and like using my hands, this is burning calories, burning energy, right? So we figure out exactly the amount of calories that your body is burning every single day, and that's your total daily energy expenditure. Okay, now eating at maintenance means that you're eating that same amount of food. That's why it's maintenance. You're consuming the same amount that you're exerting. Okay, maintenance. So making sure that you're eating at maintenance, 75% of the time, 75% of your year, 9 months out of a year, 9 months out of 12 months. And that's going to ensure that you are recovering properly, you're healthy, your body is firing on all cylinders, your body's systems are healthy, your hormones are balanced, your metabolism is nice and fast and responsive, and all of these things. Health is in check. And the way to do that is to make sure that you're eating at maintenance most of the time. Dieting, if that's a goal of yours, for a very short amount of time, like a quarter, a quarter of your life, a quarter of the year. Okay, maybe 12 to 14 weeks out of the year, but the other amount of time you are eating at maintenance. All right, why is that so important? Because if your body is ever in a state of lack, right, like in the red, in a hole from recovery for long periods of time, it's going to start, your health is going to start to degrade, right? It's going to start to decline. So we want to make sure that we're eating at maintenance in order to just give our body everything that it's needing the majority of the time, the majority of our life. So it's never in, I won't say never, but it's not very often in a state of lack, in a state of needing something from you, in a state of essentially under eating and starving, right? So making sure that your nutrition is on point and you're eating enough food, fueling your body adequately. Okay, so sleep, nutrition, and fueling, eating at maintenance more often than not. One great way to figure out how much food that is for you, and again, this is kind of like something that needs to be worked through and tweaked and trial and error. You're not just going to get it perfectly right off the bat, but a good place to start is by Googling Harris Benedict calculator. Just go to Google, type that in, and a calculator will pop up, right? It'll ask you certain questions. So your height, your weight, your age, female, male, that sort of thing. And then it will spit out your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. Okay? Then you take your BMR And then dependent upon your activity level, your average activity level, there's like a multiplier system. You pull out how active you are just on a day-to-day basis, and you multiply it by that. And that will give you your total daily energy expenditure, how much energy you're giving off every single day. And that can be a range, right? If you feel like you might be this active, but maybe up to this activity level, you can kind of have a range for yourself and say, okay, well, I at least need to be getting this, right? But I might be somewhere in here, close to it. Okay, so that'll give you a great jumping off point. And then, like I said, it's going to take some time to make some tweaks and get it perfect, right? But that's what a coach is for, to help you through that process. Sleep, nutrition. Let's talk supplements, because supplements are a huge, huge part of my recovery. All right, supplements again are a non-negotiable for me, not for everybody, but for me for sure. So y'all see my supplement regimen just this morning, I think, or no, it was yesterday. I showed you guys all the supplements that I packed for this trip, right? Not all of those are going to be specifically for recovery, but a lot of them are. A couple that I definitely make sure that I am taking every single day and recommend for my clients is going to be a fish oil or an omega-3. It doesn't have to be fish oil, but some type of omega-3 supplement. Okay. Magnesium glycinate. That is a non-negotiable for me at least. Okay. And I have pretty much, I believe, every single one of my clients on magnesium glycinate. And if they're not, they need to be. Magnesium glycinate. I know magnesium gets thrown around a whole lot. I'm sure you've heard that before, but there are many forms of magnesium glycinate, most of them having laxative effects. So they all do different things. The different forms like have different purposes, right? But most of them have effects of, well, you know. So you want to be careful which form you're grabbing and which form you're taking. Okay. I always recommend the glycinate form, magnesium glycinate. You can get this on Amazon. I get mine on Amazon by a company called, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Zhou, maybe ZHOU. But that's the one I take every single night. I recommend to my clients. They love it. And then magnesium glycinate's amazing. So our body produces magnesium naturally. And anytime we're stressed, we release magnesium. Okay. Now, the problem is that these days we're all just walking around in a stressed state. We're stressed off from everything: work, family, finances, relationships, our high intensity workouts. Maybe we're on a diet and under eating. We're just always in this stressed out state. So we're not able to naturally produce the amount of magnesium that we need to replenish what we're releasing. Okay, so 99.999999999% of the population should probably be on a magnesium supplement, and I would recommend a glycinate form. It's going to be really great for recovery. It's going to be really great for muscle recovery, heart health, brain health. It's going to protect your central nervous system, just help bring it back down at the end of the day after a stressful day of all different things coming at you. And it's going to really help you get a better night's sleep. It's definitely not a sleeping pill, but it will help your quality of sleep. So omega-3s, magnesium glycinate, creatine. I have a really awesome video on my Instagram TV all about creatine, myth busting creatine. So go check that out. So creatine is another one I would really recommend. Again, every human, in my opinion, on the planet should be on a creatine supplement. 5 grams of creatine every single day. This is not just on the days that you work out. This is every single day because it loads into your body. It loads into your muscle tissue. So you've got to load it up, and then you've got to be consistent with it in order for it to stay present in your body, or else you have to reload it again, and it's just kind of like pointless at that point. So creatine every single day. Creatine is going to be really big, a really great for recovery. It's going to be really great for performance, for strength, for speed, for mental cognition, also digestion and absorbing the vitamins and minerals and all the amazing things that you're consuming. Okay. So omega 3s, we've got magnesium, we've got creatine, staying hydrated, you guys. Hydrated every single day. I know we hear about and we think that hydration looks like a gallon of water every single day. That's fantastic. That's great. If you can hammer down a gallon of water consistently without an issue every single day, then I applaud you. But that is just not something that I can do every so often. I can make that happen, but honestly, I shoot for maybe 90 ounces, 100 ounces, and to me, that's great. Especially because that's really water and hydration is tough for me. So 90 ounces, 100 ounces, and I consider that a win. I consider that hydrated success. So I'm good with that. So anywhere from 90 ounces to a gallon, just staying hydrated. Okay. And when you're like me and hydration is hard and you are just used to living in probably a dehydrated state every single day and that becomes your norm, you don't even realize when you start hydrating consistently, like just it's a whole new world how that feels. It's insane. So staying hydrated for sure. What else? There's different things that can help you with hydration, like liquid IV. I know it's really great. I think Pedialyte is pretty great as well in a bind. It's not something that I would like live on, right, and rely on every single day. But every so often, I think it's definitely okay, and it's something I recommend to my clients, and I certainly use when I'm traveling, especially on the days that I'm flying, so flying out or flying back in. I like to use a little hydration supplement just to help me out. And that's it. That's really the things that I focus on and prioritize for my recovery. Definitely rest days for sure. I always get 2 rest days per week. 2 rest days, full rest days with no workouts. I stay active by walking, getting out of my house, moving my body, right? Getting out in sunshine, fresh air, nature. I love to be outside. So I'm getting my steps in, but I'm not going to the gym. Let's just walking on the treadmill to get my steps in, but I'm not going to the gym and completing a workout for 2 days out of the week. Complete rest days. But again, aside from steps or maybe some stretching, just some type of movement is okay. But that just gives your body, like we talked about last week, gives your body a chance to build muscle and burn fat while you rest. That's the only time it happens. So if you're not resting and giving your body the opportunity to build muscle and actually burn fat, it's not going to, okay? Actually, Coach Mariah is going to be hopping on here and doing a live this week all about deloading in your workouts and taking rest days in your workouts. So definitely tune in for that later this week. It's going to be amazing. But that's it. That's my recovery like routine, ritual, non-negotiables for me. Make sure I'm getting my sleep in above all else, because if everything else is just out of my control, if nutrition's not going to make it for the day, my hydration's not going to make it for the day, I can always rely on not rely, but count on my sleep to at least help me out a little bit, right? So sleep, nutrition, making sure my nutrition's on point, eating around about maintenance calories for me. I also want to pinpoint under nutrition is carbohydrates. So carbs specifically are going to be your recovery, your body's ability to recover. That's your recovery macro, okay? Because all of our workouts that we're doing are going to be glycolytic, right? So they are depleting our glycogen stores in our muscles when we tear them down, right? We do those high intensity workouts and our cortisol levels just spiked through the roof. We are releasing glycogen. All right. So then we have to replenish that glycogen that we just depleted. Where do we get glycogen? From carbs, carbohydrates. And that's why you're seeing a lot of articles and research come out now correlating CrossFit and carbohydrates and the need and the necessity for carbohydrates. All these CrossFit athletes are now coming out and saying, this is how many carbs I eat per day. Well, no crap. No crap. That's why I've been preaching food and carbohydrate consumption for years and years and years and years. And that's why it's so unbelievably important. And not just specific to CrossFit. CrossFit is a type of high intensity workout. So high intensity workouts across the board. Okay, Orange Theory, spin, boot camps, F45, all of these things that are jacking up your heart rate and they're high intensity. Okay, as a glycolytic activity, which is fueled by carbohydrates. So you need to replenish what you've depleted, but then you need to consume even more to make sure that you are storing up for your next workout. So you have to replenish and then you have to store up for next time, right? So we've got to make sure that we're eating enough carbs underneath eating enough total calories, okay? And I would also recommend carbohydrates around your workouts, so pre and post workout, all right? How much that is going to be different for everybody, depending on your activity and also your total daily calories that you need as well, all right? So sleep, nutrition, and carbs, supplements, and rest days. Yes, 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 all right? So yeah, that's how I stay happy, healthy, thriving, and recovered every single week from everything that I'm doing. If you guys have any questions on this topic or want to hear anything else regarding recovery, let me know. Drop it down below and I'll definitely get back to you guys, and or maybe I'll do another training about it. But that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you guys are having an amazing week. I gotta get back to my conference, so I'll talk to you later.